So the make is a bed. Model and serial number. Now, location, if you know where the bed is going to be. The floor, if you have multiple areas within your facility, so different floors. The room number, also very important. Now, with certain assets, they are not fixed and they are movable, like beds, for instance. So we never suggest putting the room number in your asset code or the description, as you may move this bed to another room. So if you want to, just put the bed and the description and add the room down below. We can even put in the unit cost. So if you know how much you've purchased this particular unit for, you can put that in. If you don't, you can leave that blank. Now we're going to go ahead and save that, and we've just saved our asset. Now, how we can go ahead and look up this asset is either by the name, the description, or just an other comment. We can put up the name, and we'll just put bed, and you can see that that bed 101 has populated. Now, when I open this up, you're going to notice that there's a bunch of other areas that you can fill out. So in here, you can put in some custom fields. We can even put a tag ID if you have that for the particular asset. You can add specific notes. Documents are great. So if you actually have a manual that goes with this asset, any purchase order, let's say, you can put it under the documents field to keep it in that asset. Your parts, this would be anything that's been linked to your asset. So we will do another webinar on parts and inventory, I believe next month, but we can review that at that time. However, you can configure your parts to the asset so it's easy to pull the part and create a transaction. I'm going to skip over transaction tab for the moment being because we're going to actually tie this to a transaction on a task in a moment. But the other area would be your forecasting area. And this area is very important. So if we go back to your details, you've noticed here you had unit cost, yearly inflation, replacement cost, salvage, and so on and so forth. So as we can see, we've purchased this for $1,100. We can go ahead and we can say that the yearly inflation is going to be 3%. And we're going to say that we have a life expectancy on this of 10 years. Once we've put this information in, it's going to actually spit out a replacement cost. So in 10 years, at a 3% inflation, it's going to take us to $1,478 to purchase this particular bed again. If we wanted to, we can even put in a salvage price. So let's say we receive $100 salvage once this bed is done and sold off, or we've given this away and we've got $100 for it. You can go into straight line depreciation. So in here, you're going to see year after year the depreciating value of this particular unit. Once you put that information in, you can go into your forecasting tab, and we're just going to put in 10 years because we know that's life expectancy. Now, we've purchased this in 2016. 10 years is the life expectancy. Based on where we are now, our maximum spend is $341. So we really shouldn't be spending any more than $341 on replacing parts on this bed or fixing it. If we are going to be spending more than that, it's really time for us to look at replacing the asset as a whole. So you can see here that we've got the life expectancy and we've used about 80% of it. So now let's go and tie this asset to a transaction. So how you do that is we're just going to go to our status tab under the tasks. Everybody's familiar with their main page here. This is where your preventative maintenance as well as your work orders come through. So what we'll do is we're going to actually just add a new task. So in here, we're going to select the facility. So we're going to be using the kingdom. Our status is new because it's a new task that we're creating. The duration we're going to leave because that's going to be the duration of time that we've taken to complete the task. The type is very important, so we need to make sure we're putting this in, which will be equipment repair. The classification itself, so let's go through and see what class this is. Let's go in and say this is going to be a project that we're doing. The area you can select here, so we're going to say it's floor 2. The room number is 201. That's where the bed's located. And then, of course, we can put the phone number or the email address. Once we've done that, we're going to enter our comment. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and hit save.